privileged to bear during so much of my life and duty.
I'm 75 now, and I can't remember.
King Charles' recent announcement about his wife, Camilla, has sent shockwaves throughout the royal family and beyond. The unexpected revelation was so significant that it immediately became the talk of the media, sparking debates about the future of both their relationship and the monarchy. While the full details of the announcement remain confidential, it has already raised numerous questions about what exactly prompted Charles to make such a bold statement at this stage in their relationship. But the announcement made by Charles has thrown everything into uncertainty. It was a bombshell that no one saw coming. With so many years spent working to reframe Camilla's image, her position as queen consort seemed secure. Yet this new revelation has caused royal insiders and members of the public alike to question whether the balance that had been carefully maintained is now under threat. Speculation regarding the nature of Charles' statement has been rife, with theories suggesting that it might relate to the increasing strain between the royal couple. The tensions between Charles and Camilla, which had previously been hidden behind the palace walls, are now at the forefront. What had once been seen as a resilient partnership may now be facing a new set of challenges, and the implications of Charles' announcement are still unfolding. The royal family's silence on the matter has only fueled the growing speculation, as the public is left wondering whether this marks the beginning of a new chapter in their relationship, or if it signals a more significant crisis within the monarchy. This shocking announcement has undoubtedly left many questioning what the future holds for Charles, Camilla, and the royal family as a whole.
Very much so.
Do you think Mrs. Parker Bowles was a factor in the breakdown of your marriage?
Well, there were 3 of us in this marriage, so it was a bit crowded.
The relationship between King Charles and Camilla has been one of the most closely scrutinized and talked about love stories in royal history. Their connection began in the early 1970s, when they first met at a polo match. The chemistry between the two was instant, and they quickly became close friends. At the time, Charles was in his early 20s, and Camilla, a few years older, was already married to Andrew Parker Bowles. Despite the strong bond between them, their relationship could not progress in the way they both might have hoped, as royal expectations and Camilla's marriage to Andrew placed significant constraints on their future together. In the following years, Charles married Lady Diana Spencer in 1981, a union that was viewed as a fairy tale wedding by the public. However, behind the scenes, it was a marriage marked by significant difficulties. As their relationship deteriorated, the bond between Charles and Camilla rekindled, though it remained largely out of the public eye for much of the 1980s and 1990s. Camilla, who had divorced Andrew Parker Bowles in 1995, became a source of intense media scrutiny, with her role in the breakdown of Charles and Diana's marriage frequently highlighted. The media often painted Camilla as the villain, a narrative that became cemented after Diana's infamous 1995 interview where she said, "There were 3 of us in this marriage." The aftermath of Diana's tragic death in 1997 did little to improve Camilla's public image. For years, she was cast as the other woman, and it seemed unlikely that the public would ever fully accept her. However, over time, Charles made efforts to reintroduce Camilla to the public in a more favorable light. They attended official events together, and their relationship slowly began to gain more attention as something more than just a scandalous affair. Their appearances were carefully orchestrated to ensure that Camilla would not be seen solely through the lens of the past, but rather as a stable and supportive partner to Charles. In 2005, after years of public speculation, and with both having weathered significant personal challenges, Charles and Camilla married in a low-key ceremony at the Windsor Guildhall. The wedding was a significant moment in their relationship, but the true test of their union would come after Charles ascended the throne in 2022. Camilla was given the title of Queen Consort, officially recognizing her place alongside Charles in his new role as king. While this was a monumental achievement for her, it was not without its challenges. Despite their decades-long relationship, the British public's perception of Camilla remained complicated, with many still harboring strong opinions about her past involvement in the dissolution of Charles and Diana's marriage. Through it all, Charles and Camilla's relationship has endured, shaped by both public and private battles. Their journey from secret lovers to an official royal partnership has been far from smooth, but it has ultimately solidified their bond in the eyes of the monarchy, even if some remain divided in their views. Their story has shown resilience, but also the complexity of love and duty within the royal family, a story that continues to evolve as they navigate the challenges of modernizing the monarchy while balancing their personal history with their public roles.
She has been part of our lives forever. I'm 75 now, and I can't remember anybody except the Queen being there. It must have been so difficult for her, being a solitary woman. There weren't women prime ministers or women presidents. She was the only one, so I think she carved her own role. She's got those wonderful blue eyes that when she smiles, they light up her whole face. I'll always remember that smile. That smile is unforgettable.
Camilla's journey to being accepted by the public has been long and fraught with challenges, particularly due to her association with the breakdown of the marriage between Prince Charles and Princess Diana. From the moment their relationship became public, Camilla was often vilified as the other woman, a role that shaped her public image for years. The media's portrayal of her as the primary cause of the collapse of Charles and Diana's marriage led to widespread public hostility. Camilla became a symbol of infidelity and heartbreak, a perception that followed her for decades. The negative public sentiment toward Camilla was particularly harsh in the 1990s, after Princess Diana's famous 1995 interview in which she declared, "There were 3 of us in this marriage," directly implicating Camilla in the breakdown of her marriage to Charles. This comment left a lasting imprint on the public's view of Camilla, making it difficult for her to be seen as anything other than a villain. For years, she was depicted as the woman who had caused Diana's pain and contributed to the disintegration of the royal family's fairy tale image. Despite these challenges, Camilla's efforts to earn the public's approval began in earnest after Diana's tragic death in 1997. Charles, who had remained close to Camilla during his marriage to Diana, increasingly appeared in public with her, trying to shift the narrative surrounding their relationship. In the late 1990s and early 2000s, their relationship became more visible, but the public still remained largely resistant to accepting Camilla. The couple's relationship was seen through a lens of scandal, and any public appearance with Camilla was met with criticism and speculation. In 2005, when Charles and Camilla married in a civil ceremony, it marked a significant turning point. While the wedding was a private affair, it symbolized the official recognition of their partnership. Camilla's role as the new Duchess of Cornwall was still met with mixed reactions, as many questioned whether the British public would ever fully accept her, especially as a former mistress who had been blamed for the breakdown of a beloved marriage. The real test of Camilla's public standing came after Charles ascended the throne in 2022. At this point, she was bestowed the title of Queen Consort, a recognition that was both a personal victory and a moment of public reckoning. For many, it felt like a culmination of decades of controversy, but for others, it was a reminder of her past association with Diana. Public opinion of Camilla remained divided. Supporters praised her for her resilience and her ability to endure years of public criticism, while detractors still saw her as a symbol of royal scandal. In an effort to improve her image, Camilla took on a more prominent role in public life, focusing on charitable work and engaging in various royal duties. Her dedication to causes like domestic violence, literacy, and healthcare earned her some degree of respect and admiration. Over time, some of the public's hostility toward her began to wane, especially as her relationship with Charles grew stronger and more established. However, the shadow of Diana's legacy continues to loom over Camilla, making it difficult for some people to completely separate her from the past. Camilla's struggles with public perception have been shaped by her role in the royal family's history, the public's lingering attachment to Diana, and the media's portrayal of her as a controversial figure. While she has made considerable progress in her efforts to redefine herself, her path to full acceptance remains a work in progress. Her position as Queen Consort has undoubtedly cemented her place in the royal family, but her legacy will forever be intertwined with the complex history of her relationship with Charles and the public's ongoing struggle to reconcile the past with the present. Camilla's rise to Queen Consort has been a remarkable journey marked by both perseverance and public scrutiny. Her transition from being a controversial figure, largely known for her role in the breakdown of Charles and Diana's marriage, to being officially acknowledged as the Queen Consort represents a significant shift in both public perception and royal tradition. Camilla's path to royal acceptance was not easy. When she and Charles became involved in the 1970s, their relationship was clouded by both personal and societal challenges. At the time, Camilla was already married to Andrew Parker Bowles, and Charles was in a relationship with Princess Diana, a beloved figure who became the embodiment of the fairy tale royal marriage. The public's attention was firmly fixed on Diana and Charles, making Camilla's role as the other woman subject to intense scrutiny. The media's portrayal of her during the early years of her relationship with Charles was often unflattering, with many accusing her of being a major factor in the collapse of Charles and Diana's marriage. After Diana's tragic death in 1997, Camilla's relationship with Charles became more public, but the public's view of her remained deeply negative. It wasn't until the mid-2000s that Camilla began to shift her public image and earn a degree of acceptance. Her wedding to Charles in 2005 was a milestone, marking the formal acknowledgement of their relationship. However, even after their marriage, Camilla was not automatically embraced by the British public. Many continued to see her as a symbol of scandal and infidelity, and it took years for her to shed the negative connotations attached to her past. In the years following their marriage, Camilla slowly began to carve out her role within the royal family, focusing on charitable endeavors that would help reshape her public image. She became involved in a number of causes, including domestic violence, osteoporosis, and literacy, with a particular emphasis on supporting women. Her dedication to charity work helped her build a more positive public profile and allowed people to see her in a different light. While there were still some who viewed her as an outsider, Camilla's growing presence in royal duties allowed her to prove her commitment to the monarchy and her capacity to serve the British people. By the time Charles became king in 2022, Camilla had already undergone a transformation in public opinion, albeit slowly. It was during Charles's ascension to the throne that Camilla's role as queen consort was confirmed. This decision was not taken lightly. While Camilla had been an important part of Charles's life for decades, the decision to elevate her to the position of queen consort faced its own challenges. It was a move that required careful navigation of royal traditions and public expectations. Many had expected Charles to name her princess consort, given the complexity of her past, but the decision for Camilla to become queen consort signified her full acceptance into the royal family and recognized her years of dedication and support for Charles. The announcement was met with mixed reactions. While many royal supporters welcomed the decision, seeing it as a recognition of Camilla's loyalty and service, there were still those who struggled to reconcile her new role with her past. Her rise to queen consort, however, was seen as the culmination of decades of perseverance. It was a recognition not only of her love for Charles, but also of her contribution to the royal family in recent years. As queen consort, Camilla's responsibilities have expanded, but so has her influence. She has continued to take on royal duties alongside Charles, participating in state visits, engagements, and ceremonial functions. Her work as queen consort has focused on the same charitable causes she had championed as Duchess of Cornwall, but now with a more prominent and formal role within the royal family. She has embraced her position, becoming a supportive and dignified figure in the monarchy. Camilla's rise to queen consort represents the evolution of her relationship with Charles and her gradual acceptance by both the public and the royal family. It marks a significant change in the royal landscape, showing how an individual can evolve from a highly controversial figure to one who holds a respected position within one of the world's oldest institutions. Despite the rocky road she traveled to get to this point, Camilla has successfully redefined herself, and as queen consort, she has cemented her place in the history of the British royal family. Tensions between King Charles and Camilla have been a subject of considerable speculation and concern within the royal household. While their relationship has weathered decades of public scrutiny, their dynamic has not always been smooth. Their journey together has been fraught with challenges, many of which have intensified since Charles ascended to the throne in 2022. These tensions, though often private, have surfaced through various reports and subtle indications within the palace. At the core of the strain between Charles and Camilla has been the balancing act required to manage the responsibilities of the monarchy, their personal relationship, and the expectations placed upon them by the public. Charles, now king, has been thrust into a position that demands immense focus on royal duties, representing the institution with dignity and upholding centuries-old traditions. Meanwhile, Camilla, as queen consort, has had to navigate her role in the royal family, which, while significant, has often been seen through the lens of public opinion that is still sensitive to her past. One of the primary sources of tension has been Charles's intense focus on modernizing the monarchy while preserving its traditions. As king, Charles faces immense pressure to adapt the institution to the contemporary world, balancing the public's desire for change with the expectations of royal protocol. In contrast, Camilla, despite her efforts to win the public's favor, has always been more focused on fulfilling her role as consort, supporting Charles in his duties, and taking on her own charitable work. While these efforts align in many ways, their different approaches to the monarchy have sometimes clashed. A flashpoint in their relationship became evident when Camilla's role as queen consort was publicly cemented. While Charles had long worked to integrate her into royal life and presented her as a stabilizing force for the monarchy, some tensions regarding her title and responsibilities became apparent. The decision for Camilla to become queen consort, instead of princess consort as some had speculated, was a significant shift in royal protocol, one that some insiders suggested was not without its complications. Camilla's past, particularly her role in the dissolution of Charles's marriage to Diana, was a point of contention for many, and although her position as queen consort has been formally accepted, there are ongoing discussions within the palace regarding the exact scope of her duties and her public role. Another area of discord has been their differing views on family matters. Charles, long focused on his relationship with his sons, particularly Prince Harry, has prioritized efforts to mend the rift within his family. However, Camilla's role in these family dynamics has sometimes been seen as secondary or even controversial. Her relationship with Harry, in particular, has been strained, with reports suggesting that she has never fully embraced Harry's decision to step away from royal duties. Her more traditional approach to royal life has sometimes clashed with Charles's more conciliatory efforts, particularly when it comes to healing family wounds. Moreover, there have been instances when the couple's private disagreements have become public. Tensions have been noted over their differing reactions to certain royal duties and appearances. While Charles has been adamant about presenting a united front in front of the public, there have been occasions when Camilla's approach seemed at odds with his, revealing cracks in their partnership. For example, when the royal couple had to deal with the complexities of royal engagements, some insiders observed a sense of frustration from Camilla, who reportedly felt that Charles was more focused on the formalities than on their shared life. Additionally, the couple's differing views on the monarchy's role in contemporary society have added to the pressure. Charles's passion for environmentalism and modernizing the monarchy has sometimes conflicted with Camilla's more traditionalist outlook. While both share a commitment to royal duties and public service, their divergent personal philosophies have occasionally led to disagreements over how best to move forward. Charles, a known advocate for causes such as climate change and social justice, has at times felt that the monarchy must evolve to remain relevant. Camilla, on the other hand, has often been seen as more focused on maintaining the status quo and ensuring the stability of the royal institution. Despite these tensions, their relationship has managed to withstand the strain. The couple's bond remains strong in many ways, but it is clear that the challenges of royal life, compounded by personal differences and public pressures, have created a complicated dynamic. Their ability to navigate these tensions will likely play a crucial role in determining the future stability of the monarchy. Whether these tensions will ultimately strengthen their relationship by forcing them to address underlying issues, or whether they will cause further friction remains to be seen. Nonetheless, the complexities of their partnership highlight the difficulties of balancing personal lives with the monumental responsibilities that come with being part of the British royal family. The tension between King Charles and Camilla has undeniably impacted the royal family, as well as the public's perception of the monarchy. As the royal couple navigates their roles within the institution, their relationship has at times been under intense scrutiny. These tensions have stirred conversations about the future of the monarchy, especially given their differing views on how to balance personal and royal duties. Public opinion has been divided, with some viewing the challenges between the king and queen consort as a natural part of their long relationship, while others have questioned the stability of the monarchy as a whole. Within the royal family, the ripples of these tensions are evident. Insiders have suggested that while Charles and Camilla share a strong personal bond, their differing approaches to royal traditions and the demands of the throne have created friction. This discord has been compounded by ongoing public criticism, with Camilla's role still polarizing some royal observers. Despite these difficulties, both Charles and Camilla remain committed to their duties, though their dynamic continues to face challenges, which could influence how they are seen in future generations.